Namaste, Hamisha Khushro Vidya. I am JV and Dr. Minakshi, Assistant Professor in Department of Shalakya Tantra, Faculty of Ayurvedic Science, ज्योति विद्यापीठ विमेंस यूनिवर्सिटी। आज का हमारा टॉपिक है कार्सिनोमा ऑफ लैरिंग्स। First, the definition: the cancer of the voice box, the larynx, which is located at the top of the windpipe, that is trachea, also called the laryngeal cancer or laryngeal carcinoma. The cancer of the larynx occurs most often in people over the age of 55 years. The risk factors are tobacco, alcohol, radiation exposure, laryngeal keratosis, laryngeal papilloma, industrial exposure. Tobacco, it is found rare in non-smokers, and cigarette smoking is principal risk factor. Strong correlation is there between tobacco and laryngeal cancer, the causative factor for all cancers in all parts. The combination of alcohol and smoking increases the risk of supraglottic tumors. Effects synergistic rather than additive. Risk is 50 times higher as compared to the smoking alone. The next is the cause is radiations. The low dose radiations have been identified affects usually soft tissues of superficial glandular structures. The laryngeal tumors are also reported. Next is the laryngeal papilloma, the very rare in de novo. Then laryngeal keratosis, image is given on the left side. On the right side there is a keratosis followed by malignancy in 3.3% cases. Industrial exposure, smoke, toxic fumes, chemical. Then there is a clinopathological factors lies in front of the hypopharynx, third to sixth cervical vertebra, higher, smaller and pliable in children. After puberty, male larynx grows rapidly, lined by respiratory epithelium, has three paired and three unpaired cartilages. Extrinsic and intrinsic muscles help in the movement of the joints. Superiorly, the tip and lateral border of epiglottis. Inferiorly, the margins of cricoid cartilage. Anteriorly, the lingual surface of epiglottis. Thyroid membrane, thyroid cartilage, cricoid cartilage. Then posteriorly, arterioadenoid folds, arytenoid cartilage, interarytenoid mucosa, and mucosa or cricoid cartilage. Three regions: supraglottis, glottis, and subglottis. What is supraglottis? It extends from free border of epiglottis superiorly to laryngeal ventricle. Inferiorly, it includes the laryngeal surface of epiglottis, arytenoid folds, arytenoids, false chords, ventricle. Then glottis, it extends from the lateral angle of ventricle to the 1 centimeter below the chord. It includes anterior commissure, posterior commissure, and both two chords. What is subglottis? It extends from 1 centimeter below the chord to lower margin of cricoid. Symptoms of carcinoma of larynx are progressive and unremitting dysphonia, dyspnea and stridor, pain, dysphagia, swelling, cough and irritation, anorexia, cachexia or fitter. Then here is an image of the entire laryngoscopy, in which you can see the VARTI enlargement, nodular thickening, hyperkeratosis, ulceration. Then comes the radiological examination, which you can go for X-ray chest, X-ray soft tissue neck, laryngography and CT scan, ultrasonography abdomen. First is the supraglottic tumors, less frequent than glottic tumor. Lesions seen on epiglottis, false chord followed by aryepiglottic folds and tend to remain confined above the ventricle, spread facilitated by mucous glands and pits within the cartilage. Infiltrate the preglottis space, vallicular base of tongue and glottis, involves upper deep cervical nodes. Then glottic tumors, most common laryngeal tumor. Early symptoms are there and slow growing and well differentiated tumor. It is well localized and no metastasis, highly curable, can extend to anterior commissure and posterior commissure, supraglottis and subglottis. Then subglottic tumors, primary or secondary tumors. Primary tumors are very rare, clinically silent until voice change due mass or immobility. High incidence of cord fixation due to thyroadenoid invasion. Nodal invasion is very high. Then treatment depends upon the site and stage of the disease. Broadly, T1 and T2. We go for radiotherapy and surgery. In case of T3 and T4, combined therapy, surgery and radiotherapy, and neck dissection for neck nodes. Surgery, we can go for the conservative surgery, radical surgery. In conservative surgery, there is stripping of cords, cordectomy, horizontal partial laryngectomy, supraglottic laryngectomy, and hemilaryngectomy, near total laryngectomy. In radical surgery, there is total laryngectomy. Then the radiotherapy, there are good results in early lesions, preserves voice. T1 and T2 has more than 90% cure rate, and T3 and T4 have no good result. The side effects of radiotherapy are dryness, skin excoriation, dysphagia, hair loss. Thank you so much. This session is powered by Digital Version 2.0, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. I hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please write in the comment box. I will resolve it. Namaste, Hamesha Kushro Bitia. I am JV and Dr. Minakshi, Assistant Professor in Department of Shalakya Tantra, Faculty of Ayurvedic Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. Today we will discuss about the treatment of Karn Rog. In this chapter we will discuss the medical treatment of the disease peculiar to the ear, Karnagat Rog, Pratished. First comes the general treatment. The portions of clarified butter after meal, use of rasayan measures, renunciation of all sorts of physical exercise, baths without immersion of the head, absolute sexual abstinence, and abstinence from talkativeness are the general remedies and rules to be prescribed in the affections of the ear in general. Then the treatment of the Vata ear diseases. The course of medical treatment is to be pursued in the four forms of the ear diseases, all due to the action of Vayu, like Karnshul, Pranat, Vadhirya, and Karnashwet, is the same and is as follows. Sneh should be first administered both internally and externally, and the patient purged with emulsive purgatives, after which the affected locality should be fomented with Vayu subduing drugs administered in the manner of Nardishwet or Pindiswet. A case of Karnshul earache due to the concerted action of the deranged Vayu and cough of the locality yield to the application of fomentation to the affected part with bilv, aranroot, ark, varshvabhu, kapit, dushtu, shigru, ajagad, ashwagandha, jayanti, barley and bamboo boiled in arnal or fermented rice fluid and administered in the manner of nadi swed, that is fomentation through a pipe. An attack of Karnshul earache yields through the application of pindaswed made with pieces of boiled flesh of fish, pork or lava, or with milk. A bowl-shaped cup should be made of the leaves of the ashwa soaked in oil and Dadhimastu, and it should be heated by means of charcoal fire. The oil, thus heated and made to drop into the affected organ, gives instantaneous relief in case of earache. The affected organ should be fumigated with the fumes of burning pieces of ashoma, linen cloth, and as well as with clarified butter, agru and guglu mixed together. Draughts of clarified butter as well as the application of shrovasti after a meal are also found beneficial. A rice diet should be foregone in the night, and draughts of clarified butter followed by portions of the milk should be taken in instead. The Shatpak Vatel should also be prescribed as Shirovasti, Erin as well as Mastika Shirovasti and sprinkling. It may also be taken internally. Goat's milk first cooked with Kantakari in the manner of sheerpak and then with the fat vasa of a cock is extremely efficacious in cases of earache if used as an ear drop. The four kinds of snail, oil, clarified butter, lard, and animal marrow, duly cooked together with the kulk of Tandulia, cold fruits, ahimsa, kendrika roots, saral, devdaru, lasun, shunti, and the scrapings of bamboo skin, and with the liquids of acid taste instead of water should be used as an ear drop in order to alleviate the aching pain therein. The express juice of lasun, shikru, adrak, murangi, mulak, and satri jointly or severely poured lukewarm into the cavity of the organ acts, acts as an excellent ear drop in case of the acute earache. As an alternative, the express juice of shingware mixed with honey, sandhav, and oil should be used as lukewarm as an ear drop to alleviate the pain therein. Clarified butter duly cooked with the scrapings of the bamboo skin and the urine of a ewe and of a she goat should be used as an ear drop in cases of earache. There is an important preparation known as a Dipika tel. Pieces of the roots of the major punchmul measuring the 18 fingers in length should be covered with a piece of linen and then soaked in a oil. The sticks of foam should then be lightened and the oil pouring in drops therefrom should be used lukewarm as an ear drop. It instantaneously removes the pain and is known as a Dipika tel. Different kinds of Deepika tel may be likewise prepared with the pieces of deodaru, kusht or saral wood and used in the same manner in cases of earache. Tender sprouts of herb plants pasted with kanchika amla should be mixed with oil and salt. The paste thus prepared should be placed inside the hollow made in a branch of snuhi tree and wrapped up with the leaves of the same plant. It should then be scorched and fired in the manner of football. The juice should then be squeezed out of it and used lukewarm as an eardrop to alleviate the pain in the ear. Different kinds of eardrops. The expressed juice of kapet, matulung, and adrak mixed together and made lukewarm, or the lukewarm chukr, a kind of kanchik, should be used as an eardrops in case of earache. As an alternative, the affected ear should be judiciously dusted with powdered samudra fen in such a case. As an alternative, the 8 kinds of official urines made lukewarm and used as an eardrop may prove efficacious in removing an earache. Similarly, in case of earache yields to the curative virtue of an eardrop, composed of the four officinal kinds of snail, duly cooked with the different kinds of officinal urine and acids, wine, sorghum, etc., as well as with the vayu subduing drugs. General and specific treatment of pitta earache. The above mentioned mode of treatment, eardrops and fomentations, etc., with the pith subduing drug should be followed in pitta consul or earache. The use of the medicated ghrib duly cooked with milk weighing 10 times as much and with the drugs of Kakolyadi group as well as the ghrib duly cooked with the drugs of the thick group should be found beneficial in such cases. Clarified butter duly cooked with the tender sprouts of sheer vriksha as well as with the yashti madhu and chandan wood or that cooked with a decoction of bimbi with sugar, yashti madhu and the purgative drug would also be found beneficial. Next is the treatment of the Kafach Kanshul. In cases of the Kafach Kanshul, mustard oil or ingudi oil will be found beneficial if used as an eardrop. Decoctions of the drugs of the bitter group fermentation is with cough sweetening drugs as well as the oil cooked with the drugs of Sutsadi or the major Panchmul group should be found beneficial. The express juice of Matulung, Lasun and Adrak as well as Sukch or the oil cooked with any of them should be used as an ear drops in such cases. The use of strong head purgatives or of gargles is likewise recommended in such cases. The medical treatment in a case of earache due to the vitiated condition of the blood should be just the same as that in the case of a Pitta Kanshul. Thus, we have given a general routine of the course of treatment and remedial measures to be adopted in the four kinds of ear affections is Kanshul. Pranad Vadhirya, and Kanshwet. Now we shall deal with the special recipes and preparations of eardrops to be employed in cases of deafness or Vadhirya. This we will discuss in the next session. Thank you so much. This session is powered by Digital Version 2.0, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. I hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in the comment box. I will resolve it